Hey YouTubers, Christopher Wanamaker here doing an updated intro overview video for my YouTube channel in which I am going to quickly go over how I have 58 different videos covering 33 different topic subjects on my channel altogether as of right now. And I have just recently thought about one additional topic video that I might add to my channel here soon, and I'll talk about that at the very end. So I'm going to quickly go over this and make it as brief as humanly possible. So what is my channel all about? Pretty much, I do videos currently on emergency preparedness management, covering the topic subjects for homes, vehicles, and building both lightweight and normal 24-hour survival bug out bags and up to 48 and 72-hour survival bug out bags. And these bug out bags, if you don't know what that is, are an emergency kit, a go bag. There's different names for them. It's pretty much like FEMA, Red Cross kind of stuff, whether it be in a Rubbermaid tub, a book bag, or specifically a heavy duty backpack that has shoulder straps, waist straps, and chest strap. So it's secure to your body, very well. And then you're on the move and you've got to get out from the danger zone, especially if it's like natural disaster. It's a level 3 go now, evacuate, mandatory evacuation. It's everything one would need in your own personal emergency go bag or bug out bag. Think FEMA, Red Cross kind of emergency supplies. You're talking, camping stuff, cooking stuff, personal hygiene. You're talking first aid, summer, winter combo clothing. Maybe you have some bartering items, trade items. You maybe have some rare metals or jewelry or something to trade. Maybe you have emergency cash money in a variety of different bills, and hidden in multiple different waterproof spots. Emergency ration food, water filtration or purification, like water purification tablets or life straws or life straw water bottles or things like that. Flint fire rod starters, lighters, magnesium bars, MREs, Mountain House dehydrated food, peak refuel, things to just add water pretty much. Hand cranking, LED flashlights, more advanced headlamps. Do you have bladed items, bladed weapons, firearms of any kind, ammunition? Um, do you have summer, winter combo clothing, and rain ponchos and emergency blankets and signaling devices? Just and everything, for camping, for comfortability, high quality tent and rain fly. Maybe it's even a hammock tent. It could be a normal tent or cot tent. Do you have blow up air mattresses? Do you have sleeping bags that fit your environment so that or quilt systems and as low of a temperature, maybe like up to 0 degrees or something. And then extra socks, extra underwear, pre-worn in good hiking boots, probably the better ones that are up the entire ankle and leg. That's like a military combat boot, like Danner boots or something, or Belleville. Things like that, and they're already pre-worn in. You got extra socks and everything. You got all the first aid. You got all the personal hygiene. Do you take medications for some illness or diagnosis or something, diabetes or MS or whatever? Do you have extra spare medication? Maybe you skipped a dose and then you packed that up and you had a 30-day supply, things like that. And then sunglasses and hand warmers and just and personal touches and personal items and personal hairbrush and combs and non-scented like deodorant and body wash and all that kind of stuff and baby wipes. Do you have everything to grab and go that you might be living out of for a while? So I have videos on all that stuff, and then home preparedness and vehicle preparedness, things to have in your home, in your storage closets and stuff, things to have in a food pantry, backup emergency water and food, and the little powder mixes that go with the water for flavor, maybe give you an extra energy boost. What do you keep in your glove compartment underneath the seats of your car? Do you um, have things in the trunk of your vehicle, like near the spare tire, other hidden compartments, lockbox containers on the top, all that kind of stuff. So I go over all that in my different emergency preparedness management videos. The next ones are financial literacy. Those are like 9 to 10 different topic subject areas, which include me going over, these are all different video subjects for financial literacy advice videos, going over Social Security income statement, the breakdown and their point system, how you get 4 points for every year. Every quarter that you do full time employment, that's 1 point. So 4 points per year. You have to have up to 10 years worth of full time employment to be able to get full time of the full amount of Social Security income in the distant future when you're older. If you were like my mother, who unfortunately was, I think, one whole year, 4 points away from making that goal. So she did 9 out of 10 years. And so she got a decreased amount of Social Security income when she was diagnosed with MS and disability. So she probably could have gotten double the amount that she got, a little over $900. She could have doubled that if she worked for more and more a year before going on like SSDI. Preparedness, protection, and improvement financial literacy advice video. Credit cards and credit scores and how those intertwine with one another. As soon as I get my next credit bureau updated credit report next October 1st, 2026, all of my credit bureau scores should all be above 800. Experian and already is at 824, but my other two, Equifax and TransUnion, are 799 and 798. All of my FICO scores, several of them that I'm tracking, are all between like 813 to 845. So if next October I get an updated report, which I get every 90 days, then if my Equifax and TransUnion are above the 800s, I'll do an updated credit card credit score video and show that on Experian.com. So it's like everything I'm going over in those videos, I'm showing the proof that it works and that I've done it, and that my credit scores are all above 800 after several years of really trying hard with that on how to do everything properly. All the hints, tips, and tricks of credit cards and credit scores that I've learned. Then another financial literacy advice video, creating a monthly budget that's both by a 3x5 card or in a booklet tracker, a budget booklet, or even an Excel roster using the different formulas in Excel. Fine-tuning one's personal auto insurance policy and coverage. Well, a lot of people don't know this when it comes to collision and comprehensive and collision insurance. You have to set what your deductible is going to be, whether it's as low as either 50 to $100 or as high as 1,000, and everything in between. And that a lot of people don't know. When you put the lower amount, because you probably either have no money or are in debt, you put the lower amount, but then that means you're going to get charged per month for a higher insurance 6-month insurance premium. But then when you are, making money and you're close to debt free, if not already 100% debt free, then you want to change that deductible to, a higher amount of up to $1,000, because then you are doing good financially. So you let them know if something happens with a car accident, you can pay a higher deductible amount, which means that they will charge you less per month for your 6-month auto insurance premium. So you have to kind of read all that stuff. What are you paying for and what are you not paying for? What covers what? Ask questions, talk to your bank or whoever your insurance is through, and then fine tune the things that do you have low coverage or high coverage. That's the kind of thing I talk about in that. Uh, Another financial literacy advice video: costly traps and pitfalls to avoid, tips and tricks to building wealth, grocery and fuel bill tracker and management, and then vehicle maintenance services and purchasing advice for purchasing a vehicle from a dealership, not for somebody else that already owns the car, and keeping track of your like a 3-ring binder with document protector, maintenance service records, always keeping those, and then creating a 3x5 car tracker for each last time the vehicle had oil change, tire rotation, filters were changed, coolant replacement, brake fluid, filters, belts, spark plugs, all those things that are a constant replacement, and or flushing out or whatever, and putting new stuff in. When was the last mileage it was done? What do the maintenance people say for that make and model? How frequently is it 5,000, 10,000, 30,000, 50,000, 60,000? For most fluids, it's 50 to 60,000. Oil changes every 5,000. Spark plugs are like every 90,000. Tires are about, depending on the tire, 50 to 60,000. And then so when were they last done? Brake pads, rotors as well. Rotors are done every other time the brake pads are replaced. And then what mileage were they done? What's the next mileage of when they'll be due, and have trackers for that kind of stuff. So those are the videos I do on financial literacy advice. There's like 9 to 10 different videos. Other things that I cover: scammer warning signs advice video. Different types of scams are going on, like about 15 different scams that I'm tracking, what to watch out for, how me and friends and family members fell for a few small ones. Mom fell for like a romance scam and laundering money scam because she was, lonely and all that kind of stuff. I fell for a rideshare advice survey scam and all that kind of stuff. So I go over different scams, what to watch out for. I show video clips from news reports on that kind of stuff. Someone thinking that they're trying to buy like an art painting from your Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. They send a check that's worth 2 to 3 to 4 times more what you asked for, and then it's you cash it. They ask you to send the difference, and then you lost your money because it wasn't a real check. It was a fraudulent check. So different scams going on, and how to watch out for them and prevent them, or even call the cops. And for certain types of scams, you might be able to get your money back. Personal property insurance Excel tracker and photo album creation. That's for extra coverage and protection with your bank. What that is creating an Excel personal property tracker of all your electronics, expensive property, furniture, putting serial numbers, manufacturing numbers, any other kind of numbers on there. Where did you buy it? What, maybe month or year time frame did you buy it? How much did you buy it for? So we have an idea of depreciation per year. Color, make, model, all that kind of info. And then, of course, not only updating it once a year, because things break, you sell things, you get rid of things, you replace things, you get new things. So once a year, adding, taking away things from the roster, adding things to the roster, keeping it update once a year, and then also taking pictures of like 360 degrees of every room and with drawers open and all that. And then you have pictures to go with it. And then you can also create a PDF of that Excel roster when you're done. Format it where all that information of all those different cells of all the different descriptions, fit on one page. And then you download a PDF, whether it be portrait or landscape, probably landscape, and then submitting it to your bank for them to have on their in their files. And then what that does It's a personal high dollar value item personal property tracker. It's something I did as a supply sergeant in the Army at different military bases for those who lived in the barracks. And any of their more expensive items, TVs, Xboxes, stereos, and all that, we would create these rosters. They would keep a copy and never really keep it. They would throw it away, and I would keep a copy with their CIF clothing issue, their TA-50, their military gear and uniforms and all that. And so if like someone broke into the room, stole things, damaged things, or there was a fire in the barracks and things were lost, then we have a roster for everybody of what their personal property was, how old it was, how much did it cost, and they would get, the police report would need to be done, and then you go through your insurance. Did you have insurance? Or maybe the government might reimburse the soldier and everything. So it's for personal property insurance and stuff. What kind of coverage do you have through your bank or somebody else? And then if you have all these things, the bank can't screw you over. They're like, oh, you were paying for like $50,000 to $60,000. You'll take 5 or 10, right? Where's your proof? Where's your proof that you had all these items? And then those who don't have proof to back up their claims, they can't get what they paid into the insurance companies will try to screw them. So they, by having those trackers up, keeping them updated once a year, maybe even twice a year, and having the pictures to go along with that, and then on hard drives or encrypted thumb drives that are part of a bug out bag that's in your vehicle or something, or that's in your glove compartment, you have backups and you always update those backup. And so it's separate from your home that you might lose everything. And then you're like, oh, well, hey, bank, you should be tracking this. I sent it to you. And then also I have backup evidence proof of my last tracker with pictures. So here's all the evidence proof that I had $50,000 to $60,000 worth of property, and here's the serial numbers and manufacturing numbers, and here's the pictures and everything, and you have all the evidence proof you need for your insurance claims, and you will get what you paid for. So um, let's see what else. Another video on become an effective multitask problem solver. So you can rely more on yourself and less on other people, unless, of course, you just need additional help to move and pick up heavy things, My experience of 5 years of rideshare driving advice, hints, tips, and tricks for rideshare driving, how to be able to pocket more of the money you make and have less go to taxes and get tax write-offs and tax write-offs for your gas or your mileage and everything. How can you do certain things to provide the best 5-star experience to your customers if you're a rideshare driver. Put more money into your car and get tax write-offs on a lot of stuff. Older brother did taxes, so I learned a lot from him on that. Pacific Northwest tour guide advice video, which I update every couple of years on major places, recreational. I'm a Google reviewer under my full name, Christopher Wanamaker. I do things on local restaurants in the area, and then indoor outdoor rec places, shooting ranges and archery places, and indoor skydiving and go-kart racing and top golf, zip lining, and then restaurants like the Vancouver waterfront and other surrounding areas, taking pictures inside and out and all that. So I talk about all those cool activity places. I also do Colorado tour guide advice video, and that is before I left in Veterans Day, which mid-November of 2019, where I left Colorado Springs and moved here to Ridgefield, Washington. So everything I knew about Colorado, I go over that video. Some things have probably changed in the past several years. So utility bill life hacks, advice, and tips video. There's both a new and an older version of that. Little hints, tips, and tricks how to fine-tune your own personal household utility bills and save money in different areas. The basic vehicle maintenance care services advice for gas-powered cars, not electric. I've never had an electric car, but I go over a lot of different things on how to take care of your vehicle. That tracker I was talking about, keeping all the maintenance service packets they give you in a 3-ring binder with document protector is the most current one in the front, and the benefits of that. how they, they can't say, oh, you come into a new place. We don't know when the last time your oil was done, or coolant, or brake fluid, transmission fluid, or brake pads replaced. We recommend those, even though you probably don't actually need it. And then you have trackers, and then you can catch them in the act of, trying to screw you over. That also, by keeping all the maintenance trackers, service trackers, packets, since the whole time the vehicle was in your name, or at least from 60,000 miles on, then that allows you to sell your used vehicle at a higher Blue Book value because you have all that paperwork. I have currently 15 different cooking recipe creation videos where I also talk about unique liquors and seasonings that I use. For all my different YouTube videos on my channel, the cooking ones will always stay the same. All the other category videos get updated every couple of years. How to become an excellent gift giver using the 5 love languages. I talk about past experiences with some old friends, and that pretty much goes over, if you are really close to friends or family members and you know their top 2 love languages, a lot of people, what they do wrong, and it starts issues, problems, and fights, maybe even in relationships, is that, I can take my top 2 and I force them down other people's throats, kind of like people do with their religious beliefs, and shove them down people's throats, and everybody hates that. So it's more of, if you really care about these people and they're important to you, then you need to learn what their top 2 out of 5 love languages are. And then when you care about them and you want to show them you care about them, you're taking their 2 love languages and you're speaking to them through their love languages, not taking yours and forcing them down their throat. So that prevents relationship issues and fights and destruction of relationships, especially when it comes to birthdays and Christmases or special occasions with the people you care about. Relationship issues and improvement advice videos. That is not from like my own personal life living experience. I've been pretty much single my entire life, but this is me listening, watching, observing thousands of others' relationships through my world travels and in the military, and friends and family members, and what makes good relationships, what makes bad, the same exact fights that everybody keeps having with one another, and then my advice on how to like get around those, or handle them better, and all that kind of stuff. So from an observational point of view, of watching thousands of other couples and what they did right and wrong. It's like a scientist observation perspective. Fine tuning one's personal auto insurance policy. I already talked about that. It's part of the financial literacy stuff. Oh, that's another thing to add as part of the like auto insurance and all that, to help with saving money in that area. Look into like the different versions of Safe Pilot or Drive Safe apps. You sign up for them, you automatically get like 5 or 10% off when you sign up for them, and then after so many miles or weeks of driving, like next 3,000 miles or something like that, then it tracks. It's like, did you touch your phone? Did you answer a phone call? Did you text while you were driving? Did you speed up too fast, way past the speed limit? Did you hit the slam on the brakes? It will track all of that. So it's like, don't touch your phone, leave it in the phone mount that's in like the being held at the air vent thing. Don't touch it, don't answer phone calls, don't answer texts while you're driving. It's, tracking your distraction of your phone. And did you touch it and move the phone all around? It will track that. And then you will get a safety score after a while. And then if for me, for USAA Drive Safe, if I have an 88% out of 100 or higher, then I get 30% for my 6-month auto insurance premium, 30% off. So right now, because I multiple times now, I'm at 30, like 30, 30, 30, 30. First one was like 26. Last 4 or 5 were 30% off. I'm spending like $98 a month in auto insurance. I have a video on vehicle hail prevention products and ideas advice video for areas like central United States get a lot of hail damage and everything. I used to live in Colorado Springs, and so one of the products that I got was Lanmodo, Lanmodo, from Lanmodo.com. It's a vehicle deployable umbrella system, and it was mainly that caught my eye. There are many other products do similar things, and this one really caught my eye because when it was deployed and strapped down to all different sides of the vehicle, then people from like a fifth story building took solid bricks, threw it down on top, and nothing happened to the umbrella. So it could really take a beating, and that was the main reason. And it saved my second brand new vehicle that wasn't even 100 days old in summer of 2018 from getting golf ball slash baseball styles hail damage. It started normal hailing, and so I went out and deployed because it stopped. And then 20 minutes later, golf ball to baseball size hail, and all other vehicles in my apartment complex parking lot, people were running out there with twin mattresses, blow up air mattresses, cardboard boxes over their head, and a whole pile on top of their head to throw in their car to try to prevent more hail damage. No damage to my car whatsoever. I was like one of four rideshare drivers for the next like 6 months in the Colorado Springs and surrounding areas who had a vehicle operational and didn't get damaged because of I thought ahead and got a hail prevention device product and deployed it at the right time. Um, I have a video on what does a college degree actually do for you if it's an actual useful degree, not a useless degree. And so once you have one, what does it actually do when it comes to employment? How does it benefit you when it comes to employment? Um, Another video on learning never stops when everything is a lesson. This is a bit of a collage video recording other different like podcaster video people interviewing other people, mostly elders or even like a Buddhist monk guy and all that kind of stuff of of the major lessons that they have to teach us, and that a lot of the younger generation really doesn't like listening and learning from their elders, and so there's a lot of wisdom from our elders that we can learn from, kind of like anybody who listens to listens, looks at, and checks out my YouTube channel and all these different topic subject videos in different categories, and listens and learns and writes down and implements it into their life. It's like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water or to all the different answers to all the different doors of all the different subjects. You can't force them to drink. They have to open the door and walk through it to listen, watch, and implement the knowledge that I'm trying to educate everybody on. So, sort of like the next video is also a big one. Think before you act, otherwise your troubles will compound, or in other words, get worse for you. And I show plenty of examples of different videos on that. You can't build a strong life on a weak foundation. Keeping a positive mental, emotional, and physical health mindset. Mandatory evacuation, vehicle preparedness, pre-packing list, and practice drill. So unfortunately, my mom recently passed away, but I had a list for just in case any kind of natural disaster, forest fire, mandatory evacuation, level 3, go now kind of a thing. I had a roster, 3x5 card roster, ready to go of everything for me and my mom. I grabbed all these items and I did a practice drill one day when I wasn't busy. Grabbed all these items, really deeply thought about everything I needed to grab for me and her, and she was disabled. And then I can grab and load up in my vehicle and then pre-pack it and take snapshot pictures to remind me of everything I grabbed and how did I pack my vehicle. So you have a pretty good idea. I got to make a new adjustment to this because my mom now passed away. So what do I grab just for myself? When my bug out bag and I got a Thule lockbox container and all that, like 85 to 90% is already always in the car. So what else am I grabbing to add to it if I have to evacuate? Let's see. Fighting unemployment overpayment experience. So I fought Colorado overpayment, Colorado unemployment I fought, they came after me out of like a little over $28,000 I got from them over a 7-month period. Then their whole system crashed because too many people were applying because it was COVID-19. Everything was crazy and their system wasn't up to date. And then 2 months later, it came back up, and then they said they overpaid me like by like a little over double of what they should have been paying me per week. And so then out of a little over 28,000, they said I owed them a little over 13, like $13,000. I fought that with 3 appeals packets, 2 waivers, and it took 2.5 years, and then I won. And I go over like how did I do that in that video. Plasma donation 101 process for when I was donating plasma like over 300 times in Colorado Springs. And things that may have changed since then in the past several years. More recently, Red Cross and Plasma Donation Center 101 process and comparison video. How is a plasma donation center like in the Vancouver, Washington area, the couple different places like BioLite and all that kind of, or BioLife and CSL Plasma or something like that. And you can make like, you donate twice every single week for a month, and you can make up to $800 in plasma donations. But then donating to the Red Cross is a little different. You do get paid a little bit, 10 to 30 bucks per donation of blood, plasma, or platelets. Or you might get a T-shirt and a beach towels or a coat or a book bag or whatever. You don't get as much, you know, compensation, but you do help other people if, like, say you got like too high of an A1C level for type 2 or you're type 1 diabetic, or plasma donation centers won't take you for some reason, and you might still be able to donate at Red Cross, but you won't get as much, but you're still helping people. So it helps the community. Another video on positives and negatives of my college experience, the ins and outs. What would I, what did I do? What did I, how did I think ahead and schedule and coordinate things? How did I create, a good tracker for all the homework and when it was due and what's first, second, third, and all that kind of stuff. And then, was the overall experience, what was good and bad about it. So, and then Army veterans, core virtues, values, and beliefs. I have a video on that. Army, let's see. Seasonal storm and homelessness preparedness advice video. I have that. Army veterans life learning lessons and major experiences, covering things of overview of my Army experience and my overall job description as a Quartermaster Supply Sergeant for 9 of 13 years and 3 deployments. The good, the bad, the ugly. What did I learn? All that kind of stuff. Always asking myself constantly to keep a positive mindset. How can I better my life? How could I better my job? How could I better my environment? How could I better my home? How can I better my furniture? How can I better my finances? How can I better my future? Always asking myself that question. I go over that in that life learning lessons and major experiences advice video. Even go over a little bit of my male and female idols and why I overall created my channel, to share my knowledge and experience, to help others, for those who want to listen, watch, learn, write some things down, and hopefully implement it. And the way I look at it is like, if one person looked up one topic category out of 33 and it helped them in one shape or form in their life, whether it be finances or emergency preparedness or fine-tuning their auto insurance or whatever, I helped out one person in one way, it was all worth it, right? And then the very last thing is my Army veteran autobiography, the autobiography of me and my overall life, which I will probably update here very soon for what's been going on in my life for the past couple of years. So that is pretty much everything. I currently have 58 videos covering 33 different topics. I am now thinking about one extra additional video and topic that I have never done before on recently, in the past several months, creating my own knock box. NOK box, which stands for next of kin box. And you can look that up on the internet on what that is. Some business came up with it and sells personal ones for up like $100 up to a couple $100, even with the fireproof safety box to put it in. It's like an accordion file folder, and they came up with like over 80 to 90 different topic categories. This is like your pet documents, your birth certificates, death certificates from family members. It's medical records for pets. It's auto insurance. It's vehicle registration. It's all that most important documentation that you would probably take originals or copies, put in like a FEMA Red Cross heavy duty thick Ziploc bag that you would put in the freezer to protect from like a house fire. So it's like you got to think about what different categories would you need, and auto insurance, and do you have boat insurance, and do you have a boat, do you own a plane, do you own a building, and then your personal property insurance and bank information and renter's insurance and power of attorney, birth certificates, death certificates, medical pet and children information. Is there a will? Is there and then have things been notarized? Do you have what do you call that? A prenup, copies of that. Your high dollar value item Excel roster sheet, with a thumb drive with pictures. All that would go in the knockbox. And then so for me, if something happened to me, because I recently lost my mother at the beginning of the month, a little over 2 weeks ago, and that really came in handy for doing everything I needed to do to close out her life, and then file away like her death certificate and stuff like that. And then in the future, if something should happen to me, then my younger brother, who knows about the knockbox, and there are a few important documentations that I keep in a fireproof safety box of my original birth certificate and a few other things, and then he would get a hold of that, and now he knows usernames and passwords for different accounts. He knows pins for my phone and my laptop to get into access to things. I've gone over everything with him. I'll show him updates. And so that way, do I have investments in stock? And then what websites and usernames and passwords would he need, or phone numbers? Same things with retirement funds, Roth IRAs. If I have where all of my different checking and savings accounts are, with what banks, or credit unions and all that. He would have all the information, and it would be very, very easy for him to go through everything one thing at a time to close out my life if something should happen to me. So that's a new video that I'm thinking about coming up with, and then going over to show what, because I created logistical supply filing cabinets as a supply sergeant in the Army. So creating a knockbox out of an accordion file folder, it does not seem that hard for me. Instead of going to spend or hundreds of dollars on the ones that they're trying to sell online, I can just create my own. And I spent like $25 on the items from Walmart. So that is pretty much everything on what my entire YouTube channel covers and is all about. 58 videos covering 33 different topics, and so it might be 59 videos covering 34 different topics here soon. So that is all I have, and I hope you look through all my videos and you enjoy them. I hope they were helpful. Cooking ones will always stay the same. All the others will get updated every few years. So keep an eye out for that. Subscribe if you want. Make any comments, ask questions, hit the like buttons, and I hope you subscribe too. So, have a good summer. Stay safe, and never stop learning, never stop growing, and never stop improving your own life in every little nook and cranny area of your life. Always keep asking yourself, how can I better my life? How can I better my future? How can I better my finances? How can I better my home? How can I better my vehicle? How can I better every aspect of my life and future? And you will go far in life, and you'll keep growing. All right, so take care and have a good day and have a good summer. Stay safe. Bye.